Hello and welcome to Season of War. We're back with another epic matchup today. The Lumineth looking to redeem themselves against the Flesh Eater Courts.
Yes.
This has been a tough matchup, and the Flesh Eaters have taken it the last two times we've played this matchup. Yeah. So after a couple of recent heroic efforts, they're trying to fight an old foe and redeem their honor. But what are we playing today?
So shifting objectives. So we just have the three, and each turn one of them will be worth extra points. We already rolled, and it will be this one.
So this is the one, yeah, first round, yeah.
And then when we're playing in the realm of Hysh, so if you're within an inch of terrain, you get the mystical 6-up save. There's an extra spell for basically another mystic shield. And then the command ability allows you to ignore cover, which...
Not super relevant here.
Yeah, it never seems to be. What are you running?
Well, pretty standard Lumineth list from what we've been doing recently. Actually, star standard from what you recently ran against my Deepkin.
Yep.
Again, we are limited on model range right now while I'm working on painting up the proper army and new models. But I loved your endless spell combination from that last one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
basically unfailable casts.
Yeah, and not going to be near as impactful against you with far less units than I was running.
Yeah.
But still strong. Still want to test it out because you have to experience it in good and bad matchups to really get a sense of what you want to run. So the list is the Orlan Legion Battalion, which includes 3 units of 10 Wardens and 3 units of 10 Sentinels with the Cathallar. Outside of that, I just have a unit of 5 Dawn Riders and Teclis himself.
Yes.
That's it for me, though.
All right. I am running the Royal Mordants. First time I've ever run this battalion, and I'm running it in the subfaction Blisterskin. Which is the first time I've run Blisterskin as well. So this is going to be a learning one for me, but it's the 10 ghouls here, the 3 horrors here, and the 12 flayers, along with the Varghulf. So the battalion allows one of those units to make a move in the hero phase. And it's just a normal move, so that includes running and all the movement shenanigans that Blisterskin and my spells add. So these flayers can do something like...
Basically go anywhere.
Yeah, 70 inches with a charge. Like, they can fly.
Corner to corner is their threat range.
Yeah. And then I've got the Ghoul King on Terrorgheist and an Archregent. And then another 10-man unit of ghouls just sort of ghouling it up.
They're hoping to just be left alone and hold that objective all game by themselves. So with the battalion, I outdropped you.
By 1, yes.
By 1, yeah. But it gives me choice, which is actually big. Forgot to mention my endless spells. Obviously running Spell Portal, Geminids, and the Hyshian Twin Stones. Again, making my spells extra reliable. And worth noting, I am not running Syar, I am running Zaitrec today. So this subfaction gives me an additional +1 to cast. I have a little bit more useful spells on my Cathallar, abilities on my Cathallar. So a little bit more magic heavy. Again, want to test this list out to counter the meta of things like Tzeentch and Seraphon, and even against other Lumineth armies. My whole army is basically +2 to unbind, and is, for the most part, besides Teclis, can be +4 to cast. So not an easy army to deal with magically. So hoping to be able to dominate those other matchups against Croak and Lord of Change.
Yep.
But again, outdropping you puts me in a tough spot, especially with your flayers so fast on the line. You can throw them right up here, and because the deployment is so shallow, I couldn't really hide Teclis far enough off the line that he was ever going to be protected.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't feel safe at all looking across the battlefield. So counter to what we learned, talked about in our last 2 games of with Lumineth, it's so powerful to give away the turn. I think I do have to take it here. Again, this makes me so susceptible to the double turn.
Yep.
But based on this mission and matchup, I think I'm just backed into that corner already that I have to do this to try and stay in the game. And I'm from the start just hoping to win priority and not get double turned just to stick in it, right?
Yeah.
So it's potentially going to be tough. I am going to have a chance to deal out some damage on my turn, so hopefully I can, be pretty effective that way. But we won't know until we get into it. So with that, we'll be starting the game, going into Lumineth turn 1.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, so just wrapped up Lumineth turn 1. Doesn't look like I did a whole lot. Did a lot of casting though. Again, getting the Hyshian Twinstones off, everything was basically +4 to cast. So I got every spell off that I needed very easily. I didn't go for this Storm of Searing White Light because, as we've seen against you before, doing D3 mortal wounds to each unit doesn't really do much when you regenerate and especially have big bodies. So I opted to go for the Lambent Light on your Ghoul King instead, but I actually ended up having blocked my own archers a little bit from getting their shots in. I think regardless, I still wouldn't have gotten max shots.
You only needed 2 more wounds to kill him.
I got 12 on him? Okay, so I was so close. I think I had, out of my 27 shots, I think I had 20 in range.
Yeah.
And did, 12 wounds. So very close to killing him. So getting that full unit in range would have been huge. I had actually thought of using Speed of Hysh on them to get them further up and more in range. The reason I didn't is because of Shining Company. I could only move up 6 inches, so I wasn't getting any of my Wardens onto the objectives. So I had to use it here on the Dawn Riders, let them tie both objectives. And because they're battle line, I actually get a bonus point for each objective.
Yep.
So I'm scoring 2 for this one, 4 for this one, because this is the one worth 3 this round, for 6 points, which is a pretty good start. Again, I know I'm sacrificing this one to you for the foreseeable future. But I feel like I put myself in a decent position. Obviously, I also have screens. If you want to come into me directly, it means you're not fighting on the objectives. So, that's pretty much everything. Again, getting a lot of wounds on your general, but not killing anything, and you'll have, the opportunity to kind of have a big turn and hopefully not the double.
Yeah, hopefully the double.
But with that, we'll be going into Fleshing Your Courts turn 1. Alrighty,
Alright, so, Flesh Eater's turn. In my hero phase, I healed up the Terrorgheist a little bit from his just War Scroll ability. Then I just moved up Ghouls onto that objective, Ghouls onto this objective. Those are battle line, so I will score the bonus points for both of those. I have the Terrorgheist here, so I'll score that one, but without the bonus. The Horrors are just sort of running up midfield. Everything in the battalion is still hanging around, so I can double move if I need to. And then the Terrorgheist made his charge, went in 8, 9 of 10 Wardens, and the 5 Dawn Riders with his second attack. Vastly overkilled the Dawn Riders because they lost Shining Company when they moved, but didn't kill the Wardens because he hits on a 4 and Shining makes them everything hit on 5s, and that's
and you only got 1 bite through on them, so
yeah. Even with the re-rolling from the mount trait, I only got the one bite on each of them actually. Well, the 6 up anyways.
Yes.
The 6 mortals.
Yeah.
And you did pretty good on your protection of Teclis saves.
Yeah. Between saves and doing the +1 from the Aether Quartz.
Yeah. So the other one was the Flayers, who needed a 3-inch charge. The Dawn Riders were here sort of
in the way.
Yeah. And the Wardens over there. I was really hoping to get over the Dawn Riders into Teclis. So I rolled a 4 for their charge, and it wasn't worth taking because I was only going to get a couple into the Wardens, and the Dawn Riders were dead either way anyways. So my artifact here, the Flayed Pennant, allows me to reroll charges, and on the reroll of the 4, I rolled Snake Eyes. So they just didn't get in this turn, which that's my biggest unit, so not getting them in
is a loss of efficiency.
Yeah, but I'm gonna win the double here, and it's all gonna be forgotten.
Yeah, we'll see. I will win ties because I took first. I roll a 4. A 1. So the turn's gonna go to me. Worth noting, actually, on my last turn, I had cast Total Eclipse too. So that, when you paid to go in for the second attack with your dual king, you spend 2 command points.
Yeah.
And, cost you efficiency right now anyways. I'm obviously going to take the turn here because preventing the double is big. I'm going to be able to do a fair bit of damage here. I'm probably going to be able to take your dual king out pretty easily. And then hopefully start working away at the Flayers or even just the Varghulfs, so you're not summoning things back. But it's going to be an interesting turn, and I have a good chance here now that I won priority. And your Flayers not making it in a significant way.
Yeah.
So with that, on to round 2 and Lumineth turn 2. Alright, so finishing top of round 2, Lumineth turn 2. Did magic stuff and shooting stuff. That's pretty much it. Again, got all my spells off. Got Geminids out this time. Did a bunch of mortals. Not crazy damage with mortals or Searing White Light. Got a bunch of ones on the Searing White Light, so no damage on a couple units. But overall, did a little bit, and then managed in shooting to take out your dual training with Teclis. One unit finished off one of the Varghulfs, and then between the other 2 units, I managed to get 4 wounds on the second Varghulf. Obviously, I'm just trying to pick off your heroes because you're dependent on them for a lot of stuff. I cast the Total Eclipse spell again, so whether you get another command point really won't help you. You only have 1 command ability available to you because it costs you 2 and you'll only be at 3 command points. But with the 3-point objective staying here this round, I really didn't have any good play at making it, and I had abandoned that one for the start of the game. So I just scored 2 points here with the extra 1 from my battle line. There was an argument for me to break Shining Company here and charge the Flayers to get wounds on them. I think that would have been particularly juicy if I had have been able to kill the Varghulf.
Yeah.
In hindsight, now I'm kind of glad I didn't break Shining because you're going to have to go into them and they'll still have the -1. And I hit them with -1 attack from Geminids, so they're somewhat nerfed right now and not going to be in any spell range to get any additional attacks. So that definitely helps me kind of weather what's going to come. If you get the double now, it's, I think, much less impactful in terms of what you're able to do, especially with the dual train off the table.
Mm-hmm.
Still obviously a big threat, and you're well in control of the board and objectives right now, and at least scoring 4 here automatically again.
Yeah, I'll score 6 this turn.
6 no matter what, putting you ahead a good margin, at least 5 points.
Well, let's see what else I can do.
Yeah, that's it for my turn, so we'll go into bottom of round 2 with Flesh-Eater Courts coming up.
Alright, so Flesh Eaters turn 2, bottom of round 2. Healed up a Flayer, healed a wound off a Horror. The Archregent was out of range to do really anything. Flayers moved up and then charged. My ghouls ran to the back of that objective. Those ghouls ran to the back of that one. I could see Teclis eyeing it up, so if he wants to go over there, he's going to have to take himself out of the play to do it. These horrors killed the one warden just barely. Out of 8 damage, I only got 1 through, but it was enough to kill the one guy. The Flayers ate the remaining 9 wardens after I shot one off, yeah, so there was 9 left, and I killed them with spending 2 command points to pile in and attack twice.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna hope for the double here, take off a couple of archers maybe, hopefully just reduce your bodies, so I won't take as much damage back on your turn 3. I'm in a decent position still scoring wise, but if you get the turn, I'm going to quickly run out of bodies or heroes to bring bodies back.
It's tough because you do have a ton of wounds in the Flayers, right? So that's so tough to chew through.
Yeah.
Compared to, having them in separate units.
Yeah, that Flayer unit is 47 wounds left right now. You've done 1 wound to them.
Yeah, and it's like Searing White Light's going to do maybe 0, maybe 6 at most.
Yeah.
And that's not helping me.
But I guess we're to the roll-off portion of the game.
6, I went ties. So I think I take it here because it doesn't hurt me, to take it. There's no reason to delay it or give you the double, and getting one later doesn't benefit me. So here I can hopefully just kill your Varghulf, start chipping your Flayers down, and like you said, reducing your bodies so that I can hopefully take that objective and then look at there later in the game.
I guess we should roll to see which objective it is. Yep. So 1, 2, 3. Over here again.
Over there again. Unfortunate. It would have been nice to come here the last 2 turns, but that's the way she goes. And with that, we'll be going into round 3 and Lumineth turn. right, so Lumineth turn 3. I was much more effective than I actually expected to be. Between spells, shooting, and actually combat out of Teclis and the Wardens let me take out a bunch of Flayers. Again, I had Searing White Light, did a couple chip wounds to everything. I actually had to finish off the Varghulf in melee, so I split Teclis' attacks, but he had no problem doing that. I killed 5 Flayers during my turn, with the combination of everything. And I had done the -2 bravery spell, and then in conjunction with the -1 from the Aether Quartz that was on them, they were down to a 2 bravery, and you so graciously rolled a 6 for me, causing 4 more to run away, which really hurt. You had 7 there, which is still a very effective unit. Losing 4 to bravery is just crippling. So, very effective turn for me in terms of killing effectiveness, but I only scored 2 points again. So, I'm still down by 3, I believe. Going into your turn here, where you're scoring 6.
I don't think it's enough, though. At this point, you're just going to have 2 turns of free scoring. Unless the objective goes over there.
Exactly. A lot could happen, and I probably can't get to this next turn. Even if I kill your guys, you still hold this.
Yeah.
So I could shoot them off, but I'm not getting bodies on there. At least until turn 5. And yeah, if that goes there for 1 or 2 of those turns, it could be very crippling. Yeah, we're going to be going into bottom of turn 3 with your turn coming up. And it's literally you're just holding on, to the score, right?
Yeah.
You're not, I don't think, really able to kill stuff anymore. So making it as difficult as you can for me to take objectives back, which will still be, annoying to take this one. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting one. But again, we're going into your turn here, so you're going to be scoring a big 6, going ahead, I think, like 8 points. Going into round 4, and I'll have a lot to do to catch up. So, we'll see what happens.
Alright, so, very productive magic phase. The Archregent cast both of his spells. He put Ferocious Hunger and Mystic Shield on himself. The 2 ghouls ran to be on that side of the objective. The 3 Flayers ran and retreated to be on this side of the objective. Because that is still the important one, so that is worth 4 points.
Yep. So, again, because of the battle line, you're still scoring 6 points again this round.
Putting it up 19-10.
Yep. Very, very scary.
So going into the roll-off here.
Priority, yes. Yeah, and we were just talking, so obviously at this point I have to make up a lot of points.
Yeah.
So if you win this priority roll, you get to score again immediately, depending on where the objective goes. And it could potentially put the game just completely out of reach here. So it's big. 2. I win ties because I went first. So, do you want to roll where the objective goes?
1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Stay
in there. So, I have to obviously work to take this one off regardless. I don't think that'll be tough. I can just move bodies onto there. But it's really pushing over there. And I do have to make sure I hold this one through your turn too. All right. Well, that's going to be it for round 3, and we'll be going into top round 4 with Lumineth's turn coming up. right, so quick turn for me also here. Again, just repositioning, throwing Teclis up the board after doing some mortal wounds in magic. And then my archers were able to finish off the last 2 flayers in their shooting, and 1 unit taking out 5 ghouls. So getting that turn was huge, obviously, just in allowing me to store points here. So made an error just in terms of not stringing out my archers to leave a battle line on here, just in the midst of things, forgetting to leave battle line here. So I actually drop a point here, which could be crippling. Again, needing to just catch up huge.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm obviously going to have a chance to do that. Still, we'll see what happens next turn and where it lands, but I think it should be all right. Really, the big thing is me wanting to win priority after your turn so that you don't score again, right?
Yeah.
But that's going to be it for my turn, so we'll go into bottom of round 4 and let you store some points before the priority. I guess
we can just... This is the end of my turn. Like...
I guess, yeah, you're literally not doing anything besides maybe running your Archregent. So here, this is big because now Teclis can't take the objective by himself.
Yeah.
Now I should be able to shoot off the ghouls and take out the Archregent, but it makes it harder, right? That's the best I think you can do in this scenario. So
that's the end of my turn. I'll get the 2 points for the battle line.
Yes.
And we'll roll to see where the objective
So
comes
I only
down.
caught up 3 points. We'll roll for priority first.
Okay.
So a 4 for me.
2.
2. So I get lucky, and you won't get to score again. But let's see where it comes down.
1, 2, 3.
Yep. All right, so the objective is staying here, so I obviously am automatically going to be scoring that one. And it's pretty much just going into top of round 5 with my turn, and I got to do everything I can to take that objective off you. Alright, so finishing out my turn. Again, a couple wounds with spells. Teclis used Speed of Hysh on himself. And put Lambent Light on the Archregent so that my archers then were able to easily finish him off. As well as actually shooting it off the ghouls, and Teclis didn't have to do anything at all. So that, again, now battle line here. I score 6 points this round, which nearly could have cost me the game.
Yeah.
And I get 1 point here, putting me at 7 for the round, which puts me 1 ahead of your current total.
And I have nothing left.
And you have nothing left here. So if you had have won priority...
If I had have won literally a priority all game.
All game. So there were a lot of consistencies. I'd won every priority, but the objective stayed here all round. Now, if it bounced between those, that wouldn't have made much of a difference. But a 1 in the middle would have been nice for me.
Yeah.
But again, Lumineth are a resilient army.
Yeah, I feel like my list suffered from not ever getting a double turn. I really didn't get to use any of my healing because you were shooting off my heroes, not my my things I could heal. And the Flayers just like couldn't make a charge to save their lives.
Yeah.
So 680 points, like a third of my list, literally
wasn't being able to, get in there effectively.
Yeah, literally did very little.
Yep.
Killed a unit of wardens on 2 command points of pylons.
Yeah.
So not very effective use there. But I like the Blisterskin. There's lots of movement. But again, like, I didn't get to use the movement because my heroes were dying and I couldn't teleport things. Lumineth are resilient for sure, though.
Resilient, and they can reach out, get into your back lines, your heroes that you want to keep safe.
Mm-hmm.
They have mortal wound output, which is big. They're a tough foe.
You got to get into the archers. Like, if you can get into the archers instead of getting into the wardens, then you've got some, game.
And you can start chewing through those, right? Like they're effective every round because of their range and their mortal output.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not able to, like you said, letting them just run free all game is punishing. Keys for me, obviously winning priorities was big because it meant I never got punished for taking first, so very lucky there. And again, just I actually really liked Zaitrec, and +4 to cast on pretty much everything meant all my other units were always getting their power of Hishes off. Now I think you got 1 or 2 unbinds across the game, but that's a lot less than you would see on average. So very strong, dominant magic army, and again, I like it even more in the current meta and facing armies like Seraphon and Tzeentch and Lumineth mirror matches potentially. So I thought it was very interesting, and again, lucky that you didn't really get into me in a really punishing way. But that was also, I think, me taking first and getting to zone out a little bit better.
For sure.
Was very helpful. So much better using the Dawn Riders in this matchup as a front screen rather than a late game objective grabber.
Oh, they still got you 6 points on turn one.
That's what I mean. And they got me the 6 points and created a screen that made it really hard to get into me.
Yeah.
You weren't killing 2 units of wardens, per unit. You might have killed another one and got into Teclis, which could have been obviously really bad, especially with the double. So definitely, fortunate there. Lumineth got their revenge. We're obviously continuing to work hard to get more painting done and more armies on the table, and different combinations of units so we can try out different lists. And I'm working very hard on getting my Lumineth painted. So thank you in advance to anyone who encourages me to get them painted up. But that'll be it for today. So we'll see you soon.
Take care.